What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA podcast. Still waiting on Dorian. I don't know where he is at, but might as well take the time to shout out none other than Papa Chuck, getting close to that 1K subs. Indeed, we are, brother. Indeed, we are. I appreciate you acknowledging the hard work over here. Been at it for a little bit now, and feels good to be finally paying off there. What up, Kyle? What up, Kyle? Still waiting on Dorian. Benjamin Chodes. What's up, brother? Spa City Breaks. What's up, man? How you doing? As I said, we are waiting on Dorian. Hopefully, let me check my phone for just a second, see where he is at. He says, I'm backstage. What the hell? Let me see. Let me see if I can get him in here. Oh, man. I don't know what it's doing. I can send him a new invite, get him in here, because we got some fights to talk about. All right. Yeah, man, not too bad of a night, not too bad. Having an all right night. Let me get my computer out of my view real quick. There we go. What's up, brother? Louis Acosta. How you doing, man? Good to hear, Spa City. We got Clarkham in here. Hey, what's up, brother? How do you feel about Bo Nickel being on the main card? Well, that's the only way that he was going to do it, right? That's the only way. He said he pulled off of the last fight, right? Because he said that he wasn't going to be on no prelims or anything like that. Let me get my lights on right here. See if we got some cool ones. I don't know. See if we can get Dorian in here. What does this say? Only the host can see you. I don't even see him in here, though. That's the thing. That's the thing. So weird. What does Kyle say? I don't disagree with you. He also said, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure why. I doubt the whole injury thing. Maybe. Maybe I tried to invite. There we go. I think old D Rose, he is here. He is here. He is here. Look who it is.
Hey,
Let me turn my AirPod on because it's for sure not.
It was like it sent me to the wrong lobby. Yeah. I don't know what happened.
I think I may have sent you to the to my test feed on accident. That's why I was like, what the hell? That's why I sent you fucking right now.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, because when I looked at the top, it said it had UFC Vegas 68 recap. I was like, bro, that shit was last week. What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know what happened then. We're going to be on for a while, man. We are going to talk about this past weekend's fights, this upcoming weekend's fights, some news and shit like that. Let's see, since the Shadow Realm. All right, dude, you will not guess none other than who commented before the show. Let me put it up on the screen.
Oh,
right
Papa
before
Chuck.
the show, if none other than the legendary Papa Chuck did not shout us out before the show, acknowledging that we are getting close to that 1K, dude. It does feel nice, dude. It does feel nice.
Let's go. Welcome back to the comment section, Papa Chuck. We've been looking for you for a little bit, so welcome back.
Yeah, man. But we, as I said, dude, we do have a lot of new viewers. So I figure why not start off the show with a little bit of just a little bit of history. The first MMA memory that look who it is. It's good to be back.
Let's go. Let's go, Papa Chuck.
The first MMA memory off the top that you have, me and you together, like that you can like remember, like the year and what happened.
I mean, I don't know about the very the very first would probably be really tough to do, but just one that always just kind of stands out the most, and it's one of the more obvious ones, is the Anderson Silva and Forrest Griffin one. When Anderson Silva ends up putting Forrest Griffin on a highlight reel, and I remember, we were pretty big UFC fans at the time, and I think UFC Undisputed was out at that time, so that kind of helped me get acclimated a little bit more with, becoming familiar with the UFC. And I remember seeing that highlight of Anderson Silva just dancing around him, and I was like, dude, that shit was like so awesome to watch a dude like in the Matrix, pretty much just dance around this guy. And I was in high school then, or we both were in high school at the moment. And I played football, and I was always like, man, the UFC is really not that too big of a sport. But then during our 2 days during football practice, a bunch of players were actually like, man, did you see that highlight from over the weekend when Anderson Silva and Forrest Griffin fought? Man, Anderson Silva made him look stupid. And really from there, I remember that was kind of one of the more mainstream moments that happened that kind of really captivated me, that pulled me in, was Anderson Silva just going Neo style on him and just sending him to the shadow realm. It was an awesome moment.
I actually remember the first UFC fight I think I ever watched, dude. It was Rampage versus John Jones. Like me and two other friends drove to the Hooters, dude, like 45 minutes away, and I was just like wanted to root against like one of my other friends, and John Jones became that day my favorite fighter just because I was just rooting against the other guy, dude. That was actually like the first event that I ever watched. But my original question to you was, what is your first MMA memory that you have me and you together as like me and you were talking about a fight? I have one way back, dude.
So I mean, I guess if you're kind of talking about in the newer like Reebok type era, because that's kind of more of, I remember we kind of picked back up around like 2018, kind of talking. I remember one of the first fights that when we had started like Facebook group chats and stuff like that was Romero and Rockhold. I remember I think the highlight was on my my Facebook memories from like a couple years ago. It was just a couple days ago actually. And I remember Luke Rockhold getting knocked out by Romero, and I remember you were like, man, Luke Rockhold's so cocky. He fights with his hands down. That's what he gets and stuff like that. So I remember that one being one of the first ones kind of like in this newer era that we were kind of getting started on and getting acclimated with. Yeah, get that thing out of there. You know what it is.
Yeah, man. Dude, tell me if you'd remember this, dude. Mr. McFarland's class back in high school. It was a Brock Lesnar fight recently happened, dude, and he was like, y'all
Shane Carwin.
He was like, y'all see that guy Trent Reznor over the weekend? He would ugly you to death, dude. Me and you were dying because we knew what he was talking about. But that is the first time that like I remember like it was an MMA topic that me and you like both knew about, and it was fucking priceless from that point on. So that is just a little bit about us. For all of our new viewers that don't know how long we have been MMA fans, that had to have been what, 2010, something like that. Dude.
Yeah, very easily.
So over 10 years for sure, we've been MMA fans now. But going to give y'all a quick rundown on what to look forward to on today's show. We're going to talk about UFC 284. We are going to recap that for you guys. Then we are going to talk about, well, my mouse is on it. There we go. Then we're going to talk about news, fight topics, news and other fight announcements. And then we are going to talk about this soggy shit sandwich of a card, UFC Vegas 69. Nice. Andrade versus Aaron Blanchfield. We are going to give you our picks, our bets, and give you a little preview on what to look forward to. So if any of that does interest you, please treat that like button like you know what Jack Della Maddalena did to Randy Brown this weekend, baby. Do that to that like button. We would greatly appreciate that. And subscribe to the channel if you are not, and leave all your positive thoughts and questions, all that good shit in the comments below. You'll get it up on the screen. And then, don't be an asshole because you will get blocked. Yeah. So with that being said, man, let's get this out of the way, dude. Rough weekend for us, yeah. UFC 284. Obviously with Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski, and Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett, dude. So rough weekend for us all together. So let's get our pick champ out of the way. We did have 6 different fights this past weekend, dude. We do pick 5 different fights to put our weekly pick champ up on the line, and our 5 different fights this past weekend were Loma Lukbumi versus Elise Reed. That was our alternate one. We did not end up using that one, although I do wish we did. Prado versus Malarkey. Josh Kulabau versus Melsik Bagdasaryan, Parker Porter versus Justin Tafa, Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett, and Volk versus Islam, dude. So out of those 5 fights, Prado versus Malarkey, you did take the dub. Kulabau versus Bagdasaryan, I got the L. I mean, I picked that one right. Parker Porter versus Justin Tafa. Man, I couldn't have been more wrong there. Justin Tafa absolutely mollywopped Parker Porter. You did pick Josh Emmett, and Yair Rodriguez does win. And Alexander Volkanovski does lose in semi-controversial decision. Some people think he won, dude. You picked Islam there. So I got 2 correct out of the 5, and you got 3 correct out of the 5. Yeah, so Dorian is and still this week's pick champ. So congratulations on being this week's pick champ. And still,
let's go. I think we're running on what a good 4-week run. I believe right now.
Yeah,
I believe.
3.
I mean,
I won the first one of the year and then haven't won since, dude. So I'm not looking too good.
I mean, at that point, my old saying was, I felt bad for you, which is why I was letting you win. Now, at this point, I legitimately am feeling bad for you because
you should.
I wanted Volk to win last week, and I was willing to give it up just to see it happen. But I mean, as my man Kyle Sis chimes in, and we appreciate you chiming in, man. And still, baby, we holding on to the strap another week. Let's go.
Yeah, man. But altogether, dude, each of us on the 13 fight card, we both went 5, 7, and 1, dude. So a negative, dude. I haven't had a negative fight week in, dude. It's been over a year, dude, that I got more fights wrong on a card than I got right. So that is unbelievable. So the results: Islam Makhachev does defeat Alexander Volkanovski. Yair Rodriguez. Or by decision. Yair Rodriguez does submit Josh Emmett round 2. Jack Della does get that round 1 KO, the first time he even got close to
sub, right?
Brown.
He got the sub, right?
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, he got the rear naked. Dude. Come on, man. Come on. Well-rounded.
I forgot it. Yeah,
he's well-rounded, man.
I was just going. Yeah, Jack Della does get the sub around 1 after knocking Randy Brown pretty much out. Justin Tafa does knock out Parker Porter round 1. Alonzo Minifield and Jimmy Crute does go to a draw. So that is okay, cool, whatever. Tyson Pedro looked like ass past round 1 against Modestas Bukauskas. Josh Kulabau does get the round 2 sub over Melsik Bagdasaryan. Shannon Ross does lose to Kalajisan Rodriguez, one of my favorite names to say, round 1 knockout. Dude, he threw a spinning ass attack at him. Did you see that?
No, I did not. I did not see the ass attack.
Yeah, dude, he almost fucking finished him off with an ass attack. And then Jamie Malarkey does defeat Francisco Prado via decision. We got some early prelims. Jack Jenkins defeats Don Chance via decision. Loma Lukbumi does get the round 2 sub. That's my girl, dude. Shane Young does lose to Blake Builder. Dude, Blake Builder looked good. And Zabira Takugov does get, in my opinion, robbed against Elvis Brenner. So that are all the results, dude. So obviously at the top, who do you think won, dude? Islam Makhachev or Alexander Volkanovski?
Man, I thought it was close. I really thought that I thought it was close. I thought that Volkanovski really showed some chops, and before the fight, as I said, earlier, I messaged you before the fight and said, man, screw the pick champ pick this week. I'm really rooting for Volkanovski because I just love that he was daring to be great. But I do think at the end of the day, I thought Islam won 3 rounds of 2. I gave him rounds 1, 3, and 4, and I gave Volkanovski rounds 2 and 5. I do think that it was a very close fight. If you had scored it for Volk, I mean, I couldn't have necessarily been too mad because I think you could have made a case that he won round 3 as well. But you could also make the argument Islam won round 2. You know, you can make so many arguments on each case, but I think that just goes to show how close the fight actually ended up being, was that you can really kind of split hairs between each round. Besides round 4 and 5, those are the 2 rounds I think we can both definitively say that were pretty definitive, you know, one way or the other in Volk's way and Islam's way. But 1, 2, and 3, you can really split some hairs there and really pick one of those 3 rounds for each guy. But I thought that he was just really good with being able to establish the control. I really thought that 4th round ended up being the swing round for him, and I thought that back control for him was really what was kind of able to help him milk out that round. And Volkanovski even said it in his post-fight interview. He felt that Islam was kind of stalling in that position to kind of ride the position and get some time accrued. And to Islam's credit, it ended up working and ended up getting him that round. But at the end of the day, I do think that Islam won the fight fair and square. 3 rounds of 2.
I guess I can't disagree with you too much. I guess what I do kind of agree with Born Parzival right here, dude. I don't know why I keep clicking it. Yeah. Bro, I at some point, dude, like when Islam had like Volk's back, dude, it almost kind of looked like he was just holding on for dear life. Like, let me just hold on to here so I can win this round, dude. That's kind of what it looked like, because he like knew that was like the path. Like if he just stayed there, then he like fucking won the round. And yeah, I guess so. But it's like at a certain point, dude, you're not even trying to finish him. You're just holding him there. I know you shouldn't get stood up from being like on the back and shit like that. But at the same time, dude, it's like you've been on his back for 3 minutes now, and like you're not even trying to choke him. You're hiding your head away from getting punched. Like it gets kind of irritating, dude. So I see why Islam won. It is what it is, bro. I guess, yeah, dude. Islam.
Yeah, I think a lot of people for Volkanovski. I think so many people. I think, and myself included, I was rooting for him a lot, and a lot of people. You see Islam in his performances recently. Charles Oliveira and the other guys, you know, he just kind of ran through those guys. And Charles Oliveira was on a streak, and he was, you know, putting out everybody. And, you know, Islam put him away pretty easy. To see Volkanovski go in there, and perform the way that he did, I think that it really, I think it excited people because he really overcame some expectations. He performed better than anybody could have anticipated him fighting, and he ended the fight so strong to end on top after he had rocked Islam in the 5th round. I think so many people want to credit him the win for the way that he performed, even though I think he still lost 3 rounds of 2, and also the way that he finished the fight. It's almost like he deserves something because Islam's been this unstoppable force for this, you know, this win streak that he's been on, and Volkanovski really challenged him and really took him to the limit. And one of the things I liked what Volkanovski was doing in the 1st round, it was one of the things that I had actually made a note of when Islam ended up taking him down against the fence. I mean, I thought Islam won the 1st round, but you can see Volk talking to himself. He's going, come on, baby, let's go, Volk. And he's like talking to himself, like getting himself pumped up to like, let's fucking go. Like, I'm not bending under this pressure at all, because a lot of those guys, when they get under Islam, under Habib, they just, you know, succumb to the pressure, and that's the end of the fight. But Volk had just that, and you've mentioned it a couple of times as well. Volk's just got that dog in him, man, and he's not going to go away by any means. And I thought that he put up just a super good effort, but at the end of the day, Islam ended up showing some pretty good striking as well, man. He ended up slicing up Volkanovski with the elbow. He was giving Volkanovski some problems with that tie clinch too. Every single time that Volkanovski would try to close the distance, try to get off a little bit of body work, Islam was getting that tie clinch and was smashing him with knees to the body, and he ended up slicing up his eye pretty good. So Islam, I think he deserves more credit than what a lot of people are giving him right now. Considering that he beat Alexander Volkanovski, and Alexander Volkanovski was undefeated in the UFC before this. So to me, it was an awesome fight. Could have went either way, but I thought the rightful dude got the win. But I don't want anybody to miss the point that it was an awesome fight, and Islam performed his ass off too, just like Volk did.
Real quick, who would you have in a rematch?
Man, it's very early to tell right now. One of the things that I can actually take from Volkanovski is that dude, as far as in-fight adjustment, that dude might be the best in the game as far as just like in the fight, like being able to make an adjustment to put the fight in his favor. Because you go back to that second Max Holloway fight, he's down in the first 2 rounds. Max drops him in those first 2 rounds, and Volkanovski ends up coming back and winning those last 3 rounds because he was able to make the adjustments in the fight with his defense and not get hit the way he was, and was able to keep the offense up to add up the points and win. So I think that's one thing that Volkanovski does have on his side, but at the end of the day, the size was what was ended up hurting him at the end of the day when it came to the control positions for Islam. I would still have to favor Islam at this point. I think you could see a similar style fight, but hey, I would not be mad if anybody threw a little money towards Volkanovski thinking that he could get it done, because we know the type of dog that he is. He's a hell of a fighter, and honestly, I think outside of Islam, I don't know if there's too many 55ers that's going to beat Volkanovski right now. I mean, that dude, he's just such a wizard and super fun to watch, and I'm glad to see he's kind of getting his respect now.
Yeah, man, for sure. Even though he didn't win, he for sure impressed a ton, in my opinion.
Let me ask you this real quick. Whose stock? Because this is one of the things that we had mentioned, when the fight was over. Whose stock do you think went up the most after this performance?
Dude, for sure, Volk. Like, Islam looked like ass round 5, dude. Like, he did not look like pound for pound number 1 in round 5, dude. Yeah. I just want to make one more point on this fight before we move along, because I don't want to spend too much time on this. But, bro, do you think Volk could have won round 4 if he wasn't so cocky that he could get up? Because you saw after round 3, he ain't strong, and then right at the start of I believe it was round 4, he got taken down. But then he got up for just a second. And then he was talking to, I think fucking whoever was fucking commentating, and then
it was Islam's corner.
And then Islam took his back right then. It's like, fuck, bro. If you weren't so cocky right then, I believe you could have, you could win.
Yeah, well, there were some opinions that I had listened to. I was listening to the Anik and Florian podcast. I told you I'm a fan of them as well, and one of the things that they said was that they felt like Volkanovski, when he was in that body triangle, that the strength and cardio that he was able to display later on in that fight, late in the 4th and that whole 5th round, they felt that he could have had enough energy to maybe try to frame off and maybe turn into or turn away from the bending leg on Volkanovski's body, turn into Islam. Some people thought he had the strength to be able to actually switch that position. I mean, I don't know as far as the technicality goes within all that, but some people felt that Volkanovski actually could have switched positions, but he was too busy trying to get in Islam's ear and talking smack to him instead of trying to burn his own energy and potentially get himself in a worse position, maybe belly down on the ground or something like that. Because Volkanovski was kind of leaning in his ear a little bit, saying, "Hey, you're a bitch. Is this all you got?" So maybe that was one of the strategies that he had.
Yeah. I think that maybe lost round 4 for him. What's up, Tom? What's up, brother? Yeah.
What's up, Tom?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I feel like the fight was winnable for him. He just let it slip at a time like that, dude. And it's like, dude, if you won round 4, I believe you would have won that fight, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually agree with Kyle as far as the smack talking might have put him in a worse position, but I think mentally for Volk, it just let him know that hey, Islam's not this monster that everybody's making him out to be. He's just human, just like I am, and I can take him out. So I think a lot of that was kind of putting himself in a better position too, because as I mentioned, in the first round, he's sitting there. Come on, Volk. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Trying to get himself off the fence.
Dude, was it round like 1 or 2? Like he hit him with, like a jab straight, like just like he hit like fucking Zombie, and he was like, "Woo, let's go!"
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he gets so pumped up, man. So I can't help but I can't help but watch the fire that he fights with, man.
Yeah. All right, dude. So let's move on down to the co-main event, dude. If you would have asked me how long like this fight was, like before I actually like just now looked like fucking round 2, I would have guessed this went into the 4th round, dude. I feel like Josh Emmett had nothing for Yair, dude. He was just like hit him once. It kind of like did it drop him, or did he like maybe put him like on a knee or something like that? But dude, Yair's body kicks were just roasting Josh Emmett, dude, all night. If you would ask me how long this, I was like, damn, he got kicked for like 20 minutes straight. But this only went to the 2nd round, dude. Give me your thoughts on this fight, and dude, let me know what you think about this new improved Yair Rodriguez that we're seeing, dude. Ever since Max to now, we have Max. I guess the Ortega fight, he did get a sub, and then subs Josh Emmett, dude.
Yeah, I really think this was a leveling up moment for Yair Rodriguez, man, because I was saying coming into the fight that his wrestling defense was, he's got good submission attempts. As I got World War III going on in the background here. But no, I knew that he had good submission attempts, but as far as his actual takedown defense, he can be taken down, and if he gets to the position where he's getting controlled, he can get outworked in those positions and really drained. But I thought that the way that he was able to set up his attacks on the feet, I really think just his footwork was just giving Josh Emmett a hard time closing the range. But I just thought that Josh Emmett, I mean, it's like he trained with Team Alpha Male, dude. Like, I don't know what you're doing trying to go out there and box with.
I said it last week, dude. He tries to, like, just like the Calvin Kattar fight. Calvin Kattar would throw an elbow. Here comes an elbow from like fucking Josh Emmett. It's like he has to do the same thing.
Well, in this fight, I don't even think it was so far as trying to match what Yair Rodriguez was doing, but I just think as far as just standing in range with Yair Rodriguez, it's like, dude, you're just not going to have good results when you stand in kicking range with him. And as soon as he started landing those ones to the body, I mean, the way that Yair Rodriguez, just that fast switch muscle that he's got, to able to just whip those things, just pow, pow, pow. I mean, just constantly over and over again was just crazy to watch. Emmett did have that moment there at the end of the first round. He ended up catching him with a pretty big overhand right. Yeah, kind of caught. He caught Rodriguez like right on the forehead, and he stumbled him pretty good, and then he fell back, and that's when Emmett was able to kind of get that top control with the wrestling. So for me, when he was controlling him with the wrestling, I was like, okay, this is where he could really take over in the fight. But I think those body kicks at the end of the day did just so much damage to him. And I think they just completely zapped his cardio, because after Yair Rodriguez had hit him with him, dude, you've seen his energy just completely dip. And Josh Emmett has never been submitted before going into this fight. And for Yair Rodriguez to actually be the one to be the first guy to submit Josh Emmett, I mean, that's a hell of a feat from him to be able to pull that off. And it just shows how much he's leveled up.
Like submission in the UFC too. Because I guess like the Ortega was a TKO, doctor stoppage or whatever.
Yeah. So for it to be his first submission and against a guy that has never been submitted, I mean, Yair Rodriguez, dude, he definitely leveled up some. And as far as challenging anybody at 145, I mean, it's clearly 3 at the moment, and it's Volk, Max, and Yair's right there as well as far as the top guys in that division.
Dude, so let's maybe preview this for just a second. Like, I don't want to spend too long on this, but Josh Emmett is like the Walmart brand version of Alexander Volkanovski. Like, same body style, same. I guess Emmett is well rounded, but
Volk is great at everything. Great takedowns, great striking, and like Emmett is just like not as good everywhere, but the same style. Do you think that this was a good preview as to what we can see from Yair versus Alexander Volkanovski?
I mean, the only reason why I say no is because Josh Emmett is more predominantly the boxer, where he's really trying to just close the range and throw them big winging hooks, and that was one of the things that was kind of for me being a Josh Emmett fan was kind of frustrating me too. Is he's just throwing just big looping hooks where Volkanovski, we know he's got the leg kick, so when Yair's kind of bouncing in and out of range like that, Josh Emmett doesn't really have any leg kicks to throw, so I don't know if he really presents that danger to kind of cut off that footwork. Where we know Alexander Volkanovski is one of the most dangerous leg kickers in the game right now. So I think that's one of the things that he can use to kind of close that range. And with his kickboxing range, I would think that he's going to be a little bit more smarter instead of fighting right at kickboxing range with Yair Rodriguez. I got to think he's either going to be in or out. Just a fight IQ.
How do you think the odds would be? Like opening?
I mean, I got to think Volkanovski is going to be at least minus 300 at least.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Minus 300.
Yeah, I was gonna say 250, but I felt like that was too low. Yeah, about minus 300.
I'd put a few dollars on Yair Rodriguez by finish. Like that's it. Because over 5 rounds, I just don't see anyone beating Volk just because the way that he's able to adjust mid fight. Like Yair would have to get him out of there rather early, like before he really gets into his groove.
Well, Volkanovski can be hit, man. I mean, we've seen in the even fighting Islam just this past week. I mean, there was a couple of times where Islam caught him with some pretty big shots, and Islam doesn't have near the power that Yair does. So Yair could definitely present some problems to Volk if Volk gets a little bit reckless and starts fighting in the pocket. But as we kind of said, the fight IQ between Volk and a lot of those guys is just, again, same word. I don't mean to keep going back to it, but just levels. Volk's IQ compared to everybody else, that dude's on another level.
Yeah, it seems like Tom is not a fan of Josh Emmett, dude.
What did I mean, I understand. I mean, you don't. I mean, and not everybody's going to like Josh Emmett, but yeah, I was going to say. I mean, Josh Emmett, 18-2 going into this fight, and a lot of people said he lost to Calvin Kattar fighter, whatever. But the worst part was that Calvin Kattar let it be that close. If Calvin Kattar was that much of a better fighter than Josh Emmett was, it shouldn't have been that close to begin with. But it was close enough to be a split decision. And Josh Emmett's a good fighter, but I do think him being 38 years old too, this is kind of his last opportunity, really trying to make something of this. And 45 really didn't have kind of the obvious answer, and that was why he got the title shot more than anything.
All right, man. So let's talk about this right here for just a second. Let me get
the funky chicken.
Dude, let me get this off the screen, dude. So I said Jack Della Maddalena happened via knockout because of this right here, dude. This is why I said Jack Della via knockout. So let me put this back up on the screen, dude. Oh, wow. Now I can't get it off. Yeah, dude. So that is why I said Jack Della via knockout, dude, because the first time, dude, hold on. Let me rewind for just a second. Dude, Randy Brown looked good. Randy Brown was looking fantastic on the feet. Like, I was like, damn, like Jack Della might have some problems closing like the distance, dude. And if not the first time Randy Brown backs up to the fence, does his little, and Jack Della doesn't come over the top with the fucking hook, dude, and not give him a Johnny Walker highlight reel KO, dude. Face planted the ground, and then Jack Della hopped on his back and rear naked choked. He died and got choked. Yeah, pretty much. The joke brought him back to life. Yeah, the choke brought him back to life. Yeah, dude. I cannot, dude. I knew Jack Della was good, dude, because who did he lose to on the Contender Series, or not like lose to, but he had a tough fight against on the Contender Series, and he's not too good now. Let me see.
Yeah, I can't remember. But it went to a decision though, right? Like,
yeah, I think so. And like you're just like, what? Like, I was looking back. Maybe someone in the chat can chime in on us. Who did Jack Della fight on the Contender Series?
But yeah, Jack's definitely a problem though, because I actually thought the same thing as you, man. I thought Randy Brown was definitely going to be the biggest test to date for him, because Randy Brown's got some UFC experience. He's fought a couple guys with good power and stuff over the last few fights. Who have you figured out?
Yeah. It is Angelusa, dude. So somehow, dude, Angelusa took Jack Della Maddalena to decision.
Nah.
Yes.
Angelusa, no. I'm saying that because you're saying like Angelusa ain't that good. No, Angelusa's pretty solid,
But
dude.
It's like in the UFC now, he's been knocked out. It's like it just kind of.
Do you remember that
Maybe
fight?
he just had the jitters. Maybe he just had the jitters. I don't know.
Do you remember the fight with Angelusa and AJ Fletcher? Do you remember when AJ Fletcher was like destroying him and Angelusa came back and won the fight? Like, Angelusa is a good fighter. So I don't want to try to discredit Jack Della Maddalena's performance in the Contender Series against him, because I mean, hey, that dude's he's a tough ass fighter. I've seen him get clipped a couple times and come back and win some fights. So yeah. He's definitely gritty, but no, it goes to show how tough he is. But for Jack, man, for him to, just to close the range the way he was able to, because
the first punch he hit, the first punch.
And Randy Brown was feeling it a little bit, because he started hitting him with them teeps and was really keeping his distance and was doing the footwork and shoulder shakes. And, when he's doing that, man, he's really, when he's doing like his little Indian dance, or he looks like he's about to do the snake and stuff. Yeah, like he's really feeling it. He's shuffling his feet, and he gets in a groove. And when he gets in a groove, I will admit that Randy Brown, he's a solid fighter, dude. And Jack Della Maddalena made it look super easy. So I really liked what Jack was able to do. And I really want to try to see if he can get matched up, maybe in the top 15, top 20, because he looks like he's every bit of ready right now.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So only other takeaways. Let's see. What else was on the main card? Justin Taffa, Parker Porter, dude. Parker Porter got fucking clipped, knocked out. It's heavyweights, fat, sloppy heavyweights. What do we do? The amount of rebounds. Reply.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Chuck. We appreciate it. But no, that one just I did love the way that Taffa was able to set that up.
Versus Kevin Holland. I'll take that all day, dude. How do you like that?
Yeah, I like that. Or the Luque, because where he's lost a couple in a row now. I think they're going to try to maybe get him a win. I don't know if Jack's maybe the guy to try to catapult him right now, where he's kind of been on a skid. But Kevin Holland lost his last fight as well, but Kevin Holland is also he's a wild dude at the end of the night, and a big name. But rankings wise, I think the Luque fight actually makes more sense for JDM.
Probably, dude. Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menifield went to a draw, dude. Alonzo Menifield would have won it if he didn't grab the cage. Dude, Jimmy Crute's chin is not good, dude. And for some reason, he tries to strike with these dudes with huge power, dude. Like, what are we doing here? Like, why does he do this? His bread and butter is on the ground. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. Why is he trying to strike with these dudes?
Yeah, he's got decent takedowns and stuff too. And he was really giving Alonzo Menifield some problems with the takedowns early on in the fight. But man, when he was trying to stand there and bang with Alonzo Menifield, it was clear who was the more powerful and explosive fighter, and it was definitely Menifield. I thought Jimmy Crute really exhausted himself in the first round going for those takedowns, and there towards the end of the first round, Menifield was able to finally get back up, and when he did, Jimmy Crute went to go back in, and that's when, as you said, Jimmy Crute kept wanting to stand and bang, and oh my goodness. Alonzo Menifield was just throwing bomb after bomb, just relentlessly just cracking them, dropped them at the end of the first round. I do have to credit
Could have
Jimmy
been
Crute.
stopped, dude. Could have been stopped.
I actually thought it was going to, and I thought there were points in the second round where it was going to be stopped too.
I was screaming at the TV, but dude,
Yeah.
too. But I also had a bet on it too. So
yeah, I was like, holy shit! Like, I cannot believe and even Amber, like my wife, like she was like, dude, like there was a couple moments there in the second round before he had gotten that takedown late in the round to kind of be able to stall out. He was getting hit with some bombs, and Amber was like, dude, this fight's about to get stopped any moment now because he was just eating some bombs. So I gotta say his chin was actually good because he took some hellacious damage, and he was still able to come back and get the draw. But I do think that was actually kind of a step back for him because I agree with you. If it wasn't for the fence grab for Alonzo Menifield wins that fight.
Yeah.
But do you want to see a rematch?
Dude, I don't want to see no damn rematch between them, even though that they were calling for it. The only other fight that I really want to talk about on this card, well, actually, two more. I want to talk about this one. I actually just want to get your opinion on two more. Dude, Tyson Pedro was gassed in round one, dude. Like, at the end of round one, he was like, Tyson Pedro was gone for a few years, dude. Came back, crushed 2 cans, and then looked like complete ass past round one, dude. What are we doing? Like, is Tyson Pedro basically Terrence McKinney? Like, if he don't finish you round one, dude, like, good luck. You're probably going to beat him.
He was. I remember when he first came into the UFC, him and Ty kind of came over at the same time, and I remember him and Ty are like, him and Ty were like boys. So I remember they were like this wave of Australian fighters, and I was kind of one that I was like, man,
best camp of his life. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I crazy enough because it definitely wasn't one of the best fights of his life.
One. He just he did a front flip for no reason in the middle of the round. Like he had a foot and then did a front flip. Like, did that gas him? Like,
yeah,
how did he gas?
Yeah, but honestly too, I want to give credit to Bukauskas because dude, he in that third round. I mean, I actually thought Pedro won. So when they said Bukauskas had won, I was like, "What?" But
really,
yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised that I thought Pedro did win, but at the end of that third round, like, dude, Bukauskas is walking Pedro down and just throwing
nothing.
Yeah. Pedro was literally just trying to survive at that point, going for takedowns. He was getting takedown stuff. I mean, Bukauskas is throwing just spinning back kicks and just winging hooks and uppercuts. He had Pedro backed up against the fence and was throwing a shitload of combos at him at one point. So I want to credit Bukauskas too. Took the fight on short notice, went to Australia, fought Pedro in his own home country, and came out with the dub. So that ended up being a pretty decent fight. But Pedro, yeah, that was definitely a big step back for him because he was a pretty big favorite too.
Yeah, man, that's it's a real eye opener when you're high on Tyson Pedro. You're like, hey, like it was like me being high on Alexander Romanov, and then who was it? Like fucking
Marcin Tybura,
just having the gas tank, and I'm just like, well, this isn't going the way I thought it was. Like round one, Alexander King Kong is fantastic, but after round one, it's like I don't know. Yeah, dude. And then the only other fight that I want to ask you about, dude, was my girl Loma Lookboonmee, dude, getting her first sub over Elise Reed, dude. Will you agree with me now that Elise Reed is hot garbage on the ground, dude? If she goes to the ground, she lost. She lost the fight, dude. If she's on her back, she's done.
Yeah,
I thought that she has no offense off her back. She's just done.
Yeah. I thought that she might have been able to maybe keep it on the feet and be able to keep it into a striking match, but yeah, Loma, she was just relentless with those takedowns and finally ended up getting her position, and yes, when Elise Reed is on the ground, she has nothing on her nothing on her back in terms of defense at all. It's just like please take me out now. Like if it was a kickboxing match, Luma would have been in for it, but unfortunately,
I doubt it, dude. She's a Muay Thai kickboxer from like a child, dude. She had her beat everywhere. Elise Reed had like nothing for her, dude. Anything else on this card, man, or do you want to get into our news? Well, I guess our first news topic. All right, so let's jump into our first news topic, dude, and it is the title of the show. And dude, if it isn't Dan the Hangman Hooker accused Islam Makhachev of flying to Australia, cutting weight, and then rehydrating with an IV. What are your thoughts? And then we saw some pictures of a zoomed up on Islam's arm, and it's a little like red. I think Ali like replied like fucking that's a USADA like fucking blood draw or some shit like that. But it's like, dude, I don't know. I mean, do I care really? Not really. But do I also want it to be fair? Yeah. If like he's using an IV, let the other people use the IV and shit like that. So what are your thoughts? Do you think there was some shadiness going on? And yeah, just give me your thoughts on that.
I mean, it's really just hard telling because, I mean, unless Dan Hooker kind of comes forward with, I mean, all he really said was, hey, we know some people. I mean, that's cool. You know some people. I mean, I know some people. That doesn't mean shit, as far as, what it really means to the whole story if Islam really did cheat or not. And a little bit of sour grapes from Dan the Hangman Hooker because remember, he did have a fight against Islam as well and got submitted pretty quickly.
Right here.
Yeah, he got submitted pretty quickly, and now his teammate lost to him. So could be a little bit of sour grapes from Dan the Hangman as well.
Yeah, it looks like Two Cups agreeing with you, huh?
yeah, definitely so. Yeah, Two Cups. I'm with you, man. We were saying it right at the same time. I think Dan's still a little salty that he got dumped pretty quick by Islam.
Yeah, Charles Barkley. Jim Bierman did an interview today. He said he knows 2 members of Islam's team took IVs, but they don't know how much IV. And dude, it's like they can't do it, Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you want it to be fair for fighters at the end of the day, but unless something really kind of comes up from, if there's anything that goes forward with like an investigation or something like that, then I'll take it seriously. But until something like that comes up, it's nothing really kind of substantial to really kind of speculate about.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems kind of odd that it's like, when you kind of just look at it just for a second, it's like, well, he does have a big ass red mark on his arm too. It's like, dude, I don't know, but would it surprise you though? Like if it came out like that he did, but I mean, would they strip the title from him? Like they would have to, yeah.
I mean, I can see a similar situation for like, maybe like John Jones or something like that. You take the title away and have someone fight for a bigger title.
Islam did do it and was given the okay. What? That's pretty wild if he did. From everything I'm hearing, that's crazy.
I mean, it's just. Yeah, like I said, it's just it's so hard until I actually like see something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't really make much of it because I mean, you see the dot on his arm, but also when, as you said, Ali Abdelaziz said that it was a blood draw, that makes sense too. Because they're taking drug tests at all random times. If they ended up taking a drug test before the fight, that very much makes sense that they're taking a blood test to make sure that he's clean before going into that fight.
All right, so let's jump on into our other fight news, fight announcements, shit like that. We do have Kyle Sisk, putting one up off the jump. Gamrot versus Turner is closer fight. Anyways, that fight has been newly announced. Well, I'll get Doran's opinion on it in just a second. Where is Dana too? He really should speak on that.
Dana's going to duck and dodge that question as much as he can. He doesn't really give a shit. He just wants to try to keep it moving as much as he can. So, if there's anything that he does not want is to have a vacant title up. So he's not going to give us the answer that you want to hear.
All right. All right, dude. Our fight news and announcements, dude. And off the jump, dude. I don't know if you saw what I sent you in the little chat like before the show. Like, did it finally send? Like, I tried to like resend it too.
Honestly, I didn't see, but let's.
Dude, Drew Dober and Patty are apparently becoming closer to an actual fight happening, dude. So on Twitter, a person asked Drew Dober, or actually, like, a person tweeted Drew Dober versus Patty targeted for May 8th, UFC 288. Drew agreed, just waiting on Patty. And then Drew Dober replied, "We are working on some big things this year, dude." What do you think, dude? Do you think that fight gets made?
It's crazy.
That's what I think happens. Right
well,
there.
what I was going to say was it's crazy that how everybody was like, dude, we cannot match Patty Pimblett up with Terrence McKinney because that's going to be a super dangerous matchup with him.
Right.
And they were going to take him and put him against Drew Dober. Like, what are you talking about? That that freaking Terrence McKinney is going to be the dangerous fight, but then you want to pair him up against pair him up against Drew Dober, dude. That's an even tougher fight. I mean, someone who's going to be in his face the whole time. Good wrestling, and we know he's going to be throwing bombs until he gets him out of there. And the dude can literally fight for days. So,
dude, any
Patty
Drew Dober fight, just put that in an IV in my veins, dude. Give me Drew Dober fights every day.
I mean, dude, I got to think that. I mean, what would you think the odds would be? That's my question to you. What would you think the odds would be for that?
Minus 400 Drew Dober.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't think you'd say that much. I was gonna say minus 200 for Drew Dober. Minus 400 is kind of, dude. Yeah, that's kind of wild.
I would cap that. If I was an odds maker, I would like Drew Dober minus 400. Like, good luck, Patty. Anyway, dude. So let's actually move on to the ones I have right in front of me. So Kyler Phillips is out, and Rafael Assunção will now face dangerous Davy Grant at UFC Vegas 71. Care about that one? Kyle Sis says,
yeah, I agree.
Charles
Kyle.
Barkley, it's done for Patty. Yeah, if he takes the fight, because he is kind of coming off an ankle injury, so I guess he could easily not accept that fight.
But then who was the? I'm sorry, we started talking about Patty again. I forgot
Rafael Assunção versus dangerous Davy Grant.
Oh yeah. I'm a dangerous Davy Grant fan. Ripping them body hooks and
dude, that left hook of doom, dude.
Dude, he puts dudes out with it, whether it's to the body or to the head. He's taking dudes out. So I love watching Davy Grant. So should be a fun fight.
We got a Johnny Walker announcement, man. He is fighting Anthony Lionheart Smith, UFC May 13th. Thoughts?
That's a pretty big jump up for Johnny Walker, and that's a pretty decent step back for Anthony Smith, for him getting ready to fight Jamal Hill initially to going to fighting Johnny Walker. I mean, you can say maybe rankings wise they might be close, but I think in terms of talent, it's a little bit of a step back for Anthony Smith, but it could be a way to try to get him a win back. But at the same time, Johnny Walker, he's kind of turned into a little bit of the Johnny Walker of old. He's kind of channeling a little bit more of that. So I am curious to see if we can see a little bit more of a measured approach, but still see that explosive Johnny Walker.
Yeah, damn Smith. Well, yeah. So interesting fight, dude. Interesting fight. So up next we got Clay the Carpenter Guida going to be taking on Rafa Garcia. Care about that one? April 15th.
Random fight, but that's a fun fight. Rafa Garcia is normally in a pretty fun fight, and Clay Guida, even though he's old as dirt, I mean that dude's still bringing the ferocity as if he was still 25 years old. So should be a good fight.
Mm-hmm. And I have to agree with JG documentaries, dude. Johnny Walker is just so like athletic. It's like his chin's ass, but he could win, dude. Anthony Smith, the mound the rebound saying Anthony Smith is excuse king. He does tend to have a lot of excuses when he loses, dude. Walker never know what to think exactly. He may win a fight and then knock himself out with a worm after, dude. You never know. So up next, we got the return of Thug Nasty, dude. Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell taking on Jonathan JSP Pierce. I like the fight a lot better for him, a lot more than that Ilya Taporia fight. Yeah.
Wait, Jonathan JSP Pearson, who?
Thug Nasty.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that Topuria fight was really tough for him, and I think JSP I think he's a good enough challenge, but something that Bryce, I think Bryce can try to get a win back under his belt and try to get back on track.
Yeah, dude, man, that is an old card, and it's crazy to think that he is still fighting in the UFC, dude. Dude, him and Jim Miller, they just have so many fights, dude. And we'll get to the Jim Miller fight this weekend. We got Matt, the Immortal Brown, dude, is returning to fight another old piece of leather boot in Court McGee. UFC May 13th event. Do you like that one?
Whew. I mean, I think both of them should retire after the fight. Win or lose, both of them should retire.
Yeah, dude.
Point.
Court McGee had been looking tough for a while, dude, but his last fight against, what was it? Like fucking Jeremiah Wells, when he just crushed him, dude. Jeremiah Wells absolutely crushed Court McGee in his last fight, dude. We know who's returning, dude. And dude, there's two fighters that you look like in the UFC, in my opinion. Charles Johnson and Bruno Silva. And hopefully you can get the Charles Johnson haircut, dude. And he is returning to fight Ode Osborne February 25th, dude. So I believe that's a couple weeks away. Can you grow the back of your hair out just at the bottom, dude, for Charles Johnson fight week?
I will not.
Dude, I'm telling you, if there is anyone that can get in touch with Charles Johnson's management PR team, they need to sell Charles Johnson little mullet wigs, dude. You could have it work the same way as a fucking mask and just strap on the back of your head and have like a little purple tuft of hair back there for Charles Johnson fight week. So all his bald supporters can support Charles Johnson in the Charles Johnson fight week, dude. And hopefully he can send me like a 1-2% cut of that, because that's your boy over here's idea. Ode Osborne, Charles Johnson. What's your thoughts on
it? Should be a pretty decent fight. I mean, Ode Osborne normally brings a pretty tough fight, win, lose, or draw. And Charles Johnson's been looking good as of late and put it together. So should be a pretty good fight.
All right. Don't know who those guys are. All right, and Dan Hooker is out, obviously. Matus Gamrot is going to be facing the Tarantula, Jalen Turner. Give me your thoughts on that one, dude.
Whew, that's
next one, dude. You're gonna be like, what the
fuck? Man, for Jalen Turner, that is a much tougher fight for Jalen Turner than it was with Dan Hooker. So credit to him for taking the fight. Credit for Gamrot for stepping in on short notice and taking on such a guy like Jalen Turner. That wrestling and gas tank of Gamrot it's so hard to bet against. But Jalen Turner's been looking like a beast as of late too. So that's gonna be a hard fight to call.
Yeah, dude. What does this say? I guess Imagine Clay Jr. Dude, it has to be. It has to be. They both fought so much. Yeah, dude. I guess Jalen Turner should be happy with not having to fight an Australian or a New Zealander again, dude. Because it's like fucking past like 4 fights have just been everyone from like CKB straight, and then he finally gets to fight someone that's not from that part of the world, not having to fight a CKB contender. So I'm sure that'll be a pretty good fight, dude. I gotta still go Tarantula Turner though. I am a Jalen Turner fan, dude. I cannot believe this next one, dude. I'm in disbelief reading it right now. Zach Cummins, dude. You remember Zach Cummins that fought DC way back in the day? Like, I guess it was probably maybe 2013, 2014 or so.
I thought that was Patrick Cummins.
Oh, yeah. So I'm confused. I don't even know.
Zach Cummins is I think he's a welterweight.
Yeah, well, he's going to be fighting short fuse Ed Herman on April 15th, dude. Dude, I didn't know Ed Herman was still in the UFC, dude. He's old as all hell now.
Yeah. Okay, I guess Zach Cummins is an 85. I thought he was a 70-pounder.
See, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's Ed Herman. I thought he retired. So Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I thought he was retired like a while ago.
Yeah, we got some heavyweight slop, dude. We got the what is it? The Beast Boy, Chris Barnett, going to be taking on Chase Sherman. What's your thoughts on that one, dude?
That should be a fun fight. Beast Boy's normally in a pretty fun fight, and Chase Sherman, I imagine he's probably gonna be a minus 190 and probably still lose the fight. I mean, that's just typical with Chase Sherman in the way that he tends to fight. He ends up being a pretty big favorite in a lot of his fights and ends up losing most of them, which is weird. But yeah, that should be a pretty fun fight though, because one thing I will get Chase Sherman, I'm kind of ragging on him for losing those fights, but he does go out there and go for it. That's one thing I will get. He goes out there and ready to put on a war, so he should be a pretty fun fight.
Yeah, dude. And your guy is returning someone that I don't like at all. I always think he's too small. He could fight at 125, and I'm like, man, this dude's too small. Mikhail Olszejek is going to return against Kyle the Natural Bahio, dude. Thoughts on that one?
Ooh. Kyle Bahio is definitely going to be the favorite. But Olszejek does have pretty decent takedown defense. He had pretty decent takedown defense at 205. So I'm going to imagine that him at 185, his takedown defense is going to be good. And I think that Bahio is probably going to be tested pretty good. So that's a pretty good fight, man.
Yeah, so that is one that I'm actually pretty interested in. And I'm actually excited to see Kyle Bahio again because every time we see him, he just looks pretty good. I guess there's a few times when it's like, maybe not. He didn't look too good on that one. But yeah, dude, any other news or fight announcements that you want to talk about before we jump into this weekend, dude? Or are you ready to get into it?
Yeah, man. I didn't really have I didn't really have too much. So yeah, we can dive into the card of the year coming up this weekend, man.
Dude, all right, let's get started talking about this soggy shit sandwich of a card, dude. This is like a soggy shit sandwich like this, dude. We have a soggy piece of bread at the bottom covered in shit juice. We have shit in the middle, and then we have a toasted slice of bread on top. That is this card, dude. Yeah. So let me start screen sharing, pull up this this card on Tapology real quick. Yeah, dude. So let's am I sharing? Do you see me on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. So UFC Vegas 69, nice. Or UFC Fight Night, Jessica Andrade versus Aaron Blanchfield. Yeah. It's pretty cool that it's UFC Vegas 69, yeah.
Nice.
Nice. So our main event is obviously Jessica Bashastaka Andrade taking on Aaron, cold-blooded Aaron Blanchfield. Zach Palga taking on Jordan Wright, dude. Hold on. The Beverly Hills Ninja, Jordan Wright. We got Josh Parisian taking on Jamal Pogues, just not recently fought on the Contender Series. That's a heavyweight fight. Also, Zach Palga down at light heavyweight in this fight. We got the return of the Nightmare, Willie Knight. That's my guy, taking on Marcin Prachnio. We got Jim A10 Miller taking on Alexander the Great Ape Hernandez. Changed it. Nazim Sadrikov taking on Evan Elder. Lena the Elbow Queen Landsberg going to be taking on Myra Bueno Silva. Jamal Emrys taking on Hussein Escobar. And dude, this fight is finally going to happen after being matched up so many times. It's finally going to happen. We got OSP St. Preux taking on Felipe Lins. AJ Fletcher going to be taking on Themba Garimbo. And our opening fight of the night is going to be let me give this one more time. Juan Camilo Ronderos taking on Clayton Carpenter, dude. Are you impressed at my knowledge of people's names without actually clicking on the little fighter themselves? Like, I'm good at people's nicknames.
Part of the time too is that I don't know if I really know a lot of the undercard fighters' names either. So I'm just assuming you're right. You absolutely could be butchering the shit out of it. I'm just like, yeah, that sounds good.
No, like the nicknames, like so. I obviously didn't know. I didn't know this guy or this guy, but I haven't really seen too much of them. So we will get started right here, dude. Juan Camilo Ronderos taking on Clayton Carpenter. Yeah, dude, 4-1 for Ronderos, 6-0 for Clayton Carpenter. Ronderos the plus 240 dog. Clayton Carpenter minus 300 favorite. USA versus Colombia. 28 years old for Ronderos. 26 for Clayton Carpenter. This is going to be down at 125, dude. 5'4" versus 5'6", and 64-inch reach for Ronderos, and Clayton Carpenter with a 66-inch reach. And if dude, I've listened to quite a bit of other people talk this week about this card, dude. And apparently, when or the last time that Ronderos fight, dude, he popped for coke after the fight, dude. So for I guess anyone that I mean, I've never done coke, but as far as I know, it's in and out of your system rather quickly, dude. So to get popped on coke after fight day, dude, it's like he would have had to have done coke like the day before or fight day. So that's kind of odd. Gonna be fighting Clayton Carpenter here. Clayton Carpenter looked fantastic on I believe it was the Contender Series where I saw him last. Indeed it was, dude. Got a win via decision, but was pretty good overall. And that's who I'm gonna rock with this time. I'm going Clayton Carpenter without a doubt. Yeah, Kyle said he popped for cocaine in competition. Cocaine use, yeah, is out in like 24 or 48 hours most. So that's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was just I mean shit, he was going out there,
he did a line and then went and fought, dude.
He just needs to stay awake just a little bit longer. So he just kind of just maybe just took a little something, try to get a little energy boost. But no, I think really I just don't know much about Ronderos. So give me Clayton Carpenter here too. I'll go Clayton Carpenter.
Yeah, same. Let me get caught up on the chat for just a second. Yeah, this card is not too good, brother. A shit Mac indeed. It's just poop with a giant turd in the middle. Yeah, dude, delicious. How'd you like how I explained the whole card itself, man?
It is not Reese's Pieces, it is Feces Pieces.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. So we are both going Clayton Carpenter here this week. We are going to try to have 3 different ones on this card. I'm going to try to convince Dorian off of some of my picks that I know he's going to want to be on, and I can take that pick champ from him this week. So up next, we got AJ Fletcher taking on UFC newcomer, Themba Gorimbo, dude. AJ Fletcher 9-2, Themba Gorimbo 10-3. AJ Fletcher lost 2 in a row. Lost his UFC debut against, once again, Angelusa, dude. What is Angelusa doing to these guys? And Matthew Semelsberger, dude. So he has lost, I guess, against UFC talent. And Themba Gorimbo hasn't fought in the UFC. Lost to someone 16-3-1. Don't know who this guy is at UAE Challengers. Fighting out of Zimbabwe, dude. 26 versus 32. I also believe AJ Fletcher is Dustin Poirier's training partner when he's in camp as well. 5'10", taking on 6 foot. Here is where shit gets a little nasty, dude. 67-inch reach versus a 76-inch reach, dude.
It's nearly a damn foot difference.
I gotta go AJ Fletcher here just because I know of him. Don't know a whole lot about Themba Gorimbo, but I could easily be surprised a lot, dude. And I'm going AJ Fletcher here. Which way are you going?
Man, I think AJ Fletcher, I mean, he's due for a win. He's shown some ability. As I said,
do not do drugs. Exactly.
Way to go, Tom. Way to spread the positivity in the in the right message, man. So thank you for spreading that message. But no, I think yeah, dude. I think AJ Fletcher, he's shown some ability in that Angelusa fight. He had Angelusa hurt bad before. He ended up gassing out there, and then that last half of that second round and that third round, he had nothing for Angelusa, like nothing. Mm-hmm. And his reach difference, he's short, stocky, and has a significant reach disadvantage against all his opponents at welterweight. So that's going to be a real problem for him in terms of climbing the ranks. But I think UFC newcomer, this is kind of set up for him to potentially get a win. It's going to be at the Apex as well, so that's where he kind of earned his chops in getting the UFC contract on the Contender Series. So let's go with AJ Fletcher.
All right, both going AJ Fletcher here. I did not sway D Rose into picking Themba Garimbo there. I was hoping he would. All right, probably going to have different picks here, though. Let's be honest. One of our 1-800 gambler fights of the week, dude. And I want to point something out for you. Just 1 second. Let me click on Felipe Lins, dude. 15-5 overall. But, dude, look back at his record for just a second.
Oh, my gosh.
In his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fights, dude. In his last 10 fights, he's had 8 canceled fights in his last 10 fights, man. Only win against Marcin Prokniel last year, dude. So that being said, dude, taking on Ovens St. Preux, 26-16, taking on 15-5. Both guys, you know, they win and they lose. OSP, the slight dog at plus 190. Knoxville, Tennessee versus Brazil. OSP, 39 years old. Felipe Lins is also 37, so let's not pretend these guys are young by any means. This is at 205. I guess we'll see if Felipe Lins makes 205. OSP 6'3" with an 80-inch reach, and Felipe Lins 6'2" with a 78-inch reach. I'm going, you know who I'm going here, dude. I rock with them every single time. I don't know why. I can't not pick him. My guy. Give me OSP, baby.
I think it's because
after the win right here.
I think it's because you are obsessed with the round mound rebound.
No. The reason why I cannot not pick OSP every single time is because he, much like Norma Dumont, drives a motherfucking dump truck around, dude. And if you have that big of a lower body, dude, you have power. You have power to get someone out of there. And, dude, my thing is, and as Tom Bullard says, I'm picking cancel fight. That's one. OSP just tends to not want to be there, man. The whole fight, he just looks like he's like, man, why am I doing this today? Like, fuck, I guess I'll stand in here. So if the fight happens, give me OSP. Although not convinced it's going to happen. Much like every time Sijara Eubanks fight is much like every time OSP fights. I don't know if it's going to happen, dude. But if they do fight, give me them.
I mean, yeah, you know, kind of bringing up that angle of potentially cancel fight. It's kind of hard to choose, but yeah, I know that OSP has his CDLs and he's a certified a dump truck driver, but at the end of the day, I do think that, man, he has just looked like he has not wanted to be there. And maybe if you look back at his record, he's actually fought once every year for I think the last 3 years now. So he has been as active as what fans would like him to be. Felipe Lins, it sucks for him because he hasn't been able to be active because the dude has 900,000 canceled fights within his last however many fights. So it sucks for him, but I think that he's a little bit more in shape, a little more ready. And OSP, man, he just has not looked motivated as of recent. So got to go with Felipe Lins here.
Like OSP as much as I have faith in him as that sandwich we discussed earlier. Exactly. So are you wait, hold on. So I was reading.
I'm going Felipe Lins.
Okay, so that is our first different pick of the day. Let me write this down. This will most likely be our alternate, or it might not be, dude. So
or it might be one of them.
First. Yeah, who knows, dude? And I hope OSP can finally get it done for me. So during going Felipe Lins, I am going the Tennessean OSP, dude. So moving on up, we got Jamal Emmers taking on Hussein Askabov, dude. 16-6 for Jamal Emmers and 23-0 for Hussein Askabov. Not going to act like I know a lot about Hussein Askabov, but I do know Jamal Emmers lost against right here Pat Sabatini in a heel hook, and then lost to Giga Chikadze via split decision. Dude, but this guy, he's not a bad fighter though. For some reason, dude, and I don't. I wasn't sharing this. I gotta share our fucking thing back. Oh, wrong button. Yeah, dude. So Jamal Emmers versus Hussein Askabov. Jamal Emmers lost to Pat Sabatini via heel hook. That's what tore his knee out, and that's why he's been out for about a year now. And he went to split decision with Giga Chikadze, dude. So the dude is a good fighter. It's just his IQ is kind of like Ryan Span's, dude. He was trying to wrestle with Pat Sabatini, being a wrestler, and it, like, what are you doing? And then he struck the whole time, besides maybe like in the third round, took Giga down for like a second and then got reversed or some shit like that. I'm not sure if it was like a third round or not. But he's trying to strike with Giga Chikadze and trying to wrestle with Pat Sabatini. So not the best fight IQ, but you look at Hussein Askabov's record, dude. 23-0. You know I love to do this. The guys he is fighting, 3-0, 7-0, 10-4. This guy, I guess he actually had a fight against, 9-1. He's just fighting kind of 0-1, like not the best people in the world, dude. Like being 22-0, why are you fighting someone 3-0? And of course you're gonna like fucking finish them round 1, dude. So this is kind of a hard fight to pick, and that explains why the odds are where they're at. Hussein Askabov, slight favorite, 33 years old versus 28 for Askabov. This is going to be, what is this going to be at? This is going to be at 145. So, dude, and like Jamal Emmers, like fucking, like he fights like weird weight classes too. Like he's fought like, I don't know, dude. It's just kind of odd. He's only minus 150 favorite, and you kind of see why. 5'10 Jamal Emmers, 5'9. We don't have a reach for the newcomer. 74-inch reach for Jamal Emmers, dude. I'm kind of torn here. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not sold on this guy. Is he being? I mean, he's not too much of a favorite though, so it kind of looks like the book is out on him. Like you know, like everyone kind of sees what he's about. That being said, dude, I'm gonna let you pick first, and I might either ride with you or go the opposite way. Who you going here?
So you had
Hussein Askabov.
You had this giant buildup going in for like all this deep diving analysis.
I set it up perfectly for you, for you to just pick.
Yeah, you're doing all this deep dive analysis, and you're like, what are you gonna do,
dude? I've thought about it too much.
Well, I mean, I think, you know, it kind of just comes down. I think you're kind of oversimplifying it. I think at the end of the day, you know,
apparently Askabov coming off 2-year layoff and training at Bang Tao or Tiger Muay Thai the whole time.
Okay, well, especially knowing that too. And what I was going to say was, as far as Jamal Emmers with his fight IQ, kind of not fighting always the smartest fight. And I got to think that Askabov, you know, he's kind of getting set up here for what could be a tough fight, but could be a great debut for him. Let's go Askabov here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna agree with you. I'm not gonna fall into the Renat Fakhretdinov train again, where I was like, dude, I'm not sold on this dude, and he just keeps crushing these fucking guys. So
yeah,
I'm gonna rock with Askabov once again, but dude, I don't feel comfortable with putting any money on this one. How about you? Just because I don't know, dude.
No, not at all. I don't feel comfortable about a lot of the prelim fights putting any type of money on.
All right, dude. So we will both pick Askabov there and move on up, dude. We got the elbow queen, Lena Landsberg, going to be taking on Shitara Mayra Bueno Silva, dude. Lena Landsberg, 10-7, coming off a 3-fight losing streak. Mayra Bueno Silva, armbar over Stephanie Egger in her last fight, and then won a decision over Wu Yaonan, but did lose a round to her. Then did go to a decision against Manon Fior. I remember that fight. She was like, "Come on," the whole fight, and just getting punched in the face. So, not the best. Not the best choices there. Mayra Bueno Silva minus 400 favorite, dude. Kind of crazy. Lena Landsberg plus 310. Lena Landsberg also 40 years old, 31 years old for Mayra Bueno Silva. 135 fight, obviously. Dude, I think Mayra Bueno Silva fights at 125 usually, yeah?
To be honest, I can't really.
Yeah. I believe because she fought Wu Yaonan and Stephanie Egger, and I believe, and for sure,
I know Montana is
Montana
125.
and Manon Fior fights at 125 too. Yeah, she usually fights at 125. So I don't know. Lena Landsberg going to be the taller of the girl and be at a 1-inch reach disadvantage, dude. Now knowing this is going to be at 130, dude. Lena Landsberg only got finished by fucking Cyborg and who else did she fucking get finished by? It's hard to finish the elbow queen. I gotta throw that out there. But dude, I don't know why she goes by the elbow queen. She maybe lands like one elbow every 2 or 3 fights, dude. So I mean, I guess. So Charles Barkley going, Emma Stuff got to predict indeed. And then Tom Bowler going, Lena. Let's get Lena. She's going to get beat up. Dude, Lena Landsberg in every single fight she gets cut. Or at least not the last fight, dude. Before that, she bleeds every single fight, dude. Her being 40 years old, dude, I don't feel confident with minus 400 favorite for Bueno Silva. Dude, I think Lena Landsberg might be the upset of the card, dude, in our 1-800, another one of our 1-800 gambler fights of the week, dude. You probably shouldn't be putting money on this weekend, but if you do, I wouldn't think it's the worst decision to throw maybe a few dollars at Lena Landsberg via decision, because that's how she wins. She ain't going to finish Mayra Bueno Silva, but she might hold her up against the fence just enough and land 1 or 2 of those elbows, because I don't think she landed any in her last fight. So she's due for an elbow or 2 to keep that name of the elbow queen.
No, Lena Landsberg is tough as that old leather boot, man. I mean, she's definitely one that's not going to go away, but I just think at this point her skills just kind of deteriorated a little bit more, just slowed down a little bit more, not as athletic as she once was. Bueno Silva, not saying that she is a world beater by any means, but she is kind of in a groove as far as a little bit of a win streak here, starting to feel herself, maybe moving up weight class, try to see if the either maybe if the weight cut might not be as bad, and maybe a potential quicker title shot at 135, or it could just be just a one-off, maybe just to try to get a win under her belt. But I think Bueno Silva should be able to get the win here, and I think she does.
Dude, I think I might rock with the dog here. I think I might rock with Lena Landsberg, dude. I just when you watch Bueno Silva, she only wins via armbar. All right. Lena Landsberg's never been, or hasn't ever been subbed, only been fucking knocked out by Cyborg. And dude, she only wins, and she's never gone for, or she's fucking never gotten a takedown in a fight. Every single time she's got a sub, she's been taken down and then armbarred like the girl. So it's it's just kind of odd, dude. I'm gonna take a shot here, dude. I want to take a shot on the dog at the 40-year-old elbow queen Lena Landsberg to get the decision victory this weekend against Mayra Bueno Silva in our second different pick of the day. Landsberg, a minus 310 dog versus Silva. Bueno Silva.
Well, plus 310, right?
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, dude. So I have a big dog trying to get the pick champ back this weekend.
Yeah, that's a pretty risky pick, man, because especially like I said, Landsberg, I think more of hers kind of just her age, just kind of gets to her at this point for me.
All right, next fight up on the card, we got Nazim Sadikov taking on Evan Elder. So Nazim Sadikov 7-1. Evan Elder also 7-1. Evan Elder did lose his last fight against Preston Parsons, as where Sadikov coming off the Contender Series, first fight in the UFC, minus 175 favorite for Sadikov, plus 145 dog for Evan Elder. 28 years old versus 25 years old for Elder. This is, what is this going to be at, Dorian? 155 or a 170? Because
lightweight.
Last fight was at 170, so it looks like coming down from 170, 5'10". They're both 5'10". Sadikov at a 2-inch reach disadvantage, dude. So I'm not sure if that matters too much, but what does matter is if you see where Sadikov is training at, Longo and Weidman MMA. So with Aljo, Marab, and all of those, Evan Elder training at Killcliff FC, the Black Zillions. What was it before that? Or like what was it after that? I don't know, dude. They changed their name. The Henry Hooft Fight Gym. They change their name every damn year.
Yeah, literally. I can't remember what it is now.
Yeah, let's see. We got let's get okay.
Twizzy.
Yo, just saying what's up to the chat real quick. What's up, Patty? Nice to see everyone in here. We appreciate every single one of y'all for joining us here. If you wouldn't mind, if you're not already, give us a subscribe. We're here every single UFC fight week, before and after. And if you are into it, I open UFC cards here on the channel every single Monday. Tom Bullard said age equals experience. But is it enough to know? Dude, I'm counting on Lena Landsberg landing one of those elbows this weekend and cashing that plus 300. Or, dude, what's Lena Landsberg by decision? I actually got my DraftKings up right before this fight so I could pull it up. What is Lena Landsberg by decision, dude? It can't be much else. Lena Landsberg by decision plus 500, dude. It's worth $1 or $2 this weekend. I might put $2 on it to win $10, dude. It might just be worth it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe $1, but not me.
All right. So, who you going here, dude? Nazim Sadikov or Evan Elder? I gotta rock with my guys up at Sarah Longo with Sadim Nadikov and a slight favorite at that. Not going the dog this time. Which way are you going?
Having Elder come off that fight against Preston Parsons isn't I think Preston Parsons, if I remember right, might have gotten crushed by D-Rod like in his UFC debut. If this is the same guy that I'm thinking about, it could be a completely different fighter. But if that's the same guy that I'm thinking about, that absolutely is. For Preston Parsons, he got smoked by D-Rod in his first fight coming into UFC. So I don't know. Don't want to do MMA math, but not really.
He lost to Preston Parsons.
Preston Parsons, he lost to Preston Parsons. What I'm saying is Preston Parsons made his UFC debut against D-Rod, and D-Rod crushed him, like crushed Preston Parsons. So not a good loss for Evan Elder there. So got to take Sadikov for that reason.
Yeah, fair enough, dude. We are both going Sadikov. We only have 2 different picks.
What happened? Oh shit.
I clicked back on my stream, dude. Can you hear me?
We good.
Yeah, all right, just making sure. I clicked back on my StreamYard instead of my Tapology page. I should really get a whole nother screen here, but it is what it is for now. Moving on up, we got A10 Jim Miller taking on Alexander the Great Ape Volkanovski. We were just talking about Alexander the Great Ape Hernandez, dude. That's what I get for not reading, just going along with it, dude. 35-16 for A10 Jim Miller, dude. Can you believe Jim Miller is still fucking fighting, dude? When did he had to have been in the UFC like what, 2006, 2008, some shit like that? 13-6 for Alexander Hernandez, dude. Plus 160 dog for Jim Miller. I'm surprised, dude. I'm surprised this isn't a closer fight. Minus 200 favorite for Alexander Hernandez, 39 years old versus 30 years old for Alexander Hernandez. This is going to be at 155. Alexander Hernandez last fought at 145 against Billy Q and pretty much had 1 round of gas tank in him. Jim Miller, 5'9" versus 5'9", 71 versus 72-inch reach. So measurables about the same, just the experience heavy on the A10 side, dude. And, dude, yeah, I'm just, wow, dude. Is it not even sharing? Why didn't you tell me that the whole time, man?
Yeah, because honestly, I was just kind of listening to you spew because I didn't know who you were going to pick, but I know who I want to pick. So I didn't know if you wanted me to lead off just to make it a little bit easier for you, but man, I know who I'm going to pick for this fight, and
right,
I think, yeah, Alexander Hernandez. Dude, how is he the favorite going into this fight? I do not understand.
He's got 1 round, dude. It's like if he,
yeah, he's got 1 round of gas in him. And I think that after that first round, dude, he's literally got nothing. And I think Jim Miller has shown time to time again. Dude, I mean, Twizzy ain't lying. I mean, dude,
that's every single time he loses, second round KO.
Dude, and Jim Miller been putting it on dudes here as of late. So, yeah, Jim Miller's been looking good. Alexander Hernandez, for him to be anywhere near minus 200 favorite is mind-blowing to me. I'm definitely taking Jim Miller here. I think he does get the finish. Let's say second or third round, maybe a little club and sub or a straight up KO, but maybe like a club and sub. I can see that happening.
Let me tell you why I'm picking Jim Miller in this fight, dude. Not only, what was this? 1 month. All right, so exactly 2 months ago, Alexander Hernandez gets knocked out. TKO punches. And, so, dude, he got the shit. Billy Q put the volume on him, dude. You're telling me he recovers from down at 145 2 months ago, gonna, I guess, go back up to 155 against a natural 155er in A10 Jim Miller with power, dude. I'm guessing Alexander Hernandez kind of puts up a tough fight round 1, dude. I almost said fart, you heard me. And then and then round two, we get that A10, dude. I'm going Jim Miller KO round 2. Probably as well.
Yeah. I think I think the same thing. Either that or club and some. But Alexander Hernandez being that big of a favorite against anybody is crazy at this point. Because I think the book's out on him now for what kind of fighter he is.
Yeah, I mean, would it surprise you too much though if like Alexander Hernandez came out there and just fucking deaded fucking Jim Miller round 1? No, not really.
If he came out and blitzed him and put him out,
that's what Alexander Hernandez does.
Yeah, now he does, and one thing I will give him credit for, the dude does go out there and he goes for it, goes out on his shield. Most of his losses are some sort of TKO or a KO. So a lot of times he's going out there to kill or to be killed. There's no in between for Alexander Hernandez. But I think Jim Miller is just a little bit too much for him. I think the experience and I think Jim Miller's got that dog in him that Alexander Hernandez doesn't.
Dude, yeah. Kyle has it right. I think Jim Miller is a little too experienced. Demolished. Dude, I think the best idea for this fight, if y'all have to bet it, is, dude, wait until try to bet this fight live, like a minute left, round 1. If Alexander Hernandez does not finish Jim Miller, I'm going to bet probably my max bet, live bet A10 to win, because he should be even a bigger dog at that point too. I'm getting a lot of people. Everyone's on A10. No one is believing in Alexander Hernandez, dude. So we are not the only.
So that just lets us know that Alexander Hernandez is going to get a first round KO.
Probably, dude. Probably, because that's just how it goes. All right, dude. So we are both going A10 there, yeah?
Yep.
All right, dude. Kind of surprising because I thought you might go Alexander Hernandez there,
No
but
way.
you made the smart decision. Moving on up the card, we got the Nightmare, my guy, Willie Knight, taking on Marcin Prachnio. And here we go. Let's see if I can do it. Willie Knight, 11-4. Marcin Prachnio, 15-6. Willie Knight lost his last two, and dude he went from fighting Alonzo Minifield at 205, missed weight against Maxim Grishin. I believe he was 218 for a fight at 205, so missed weight by 13 pounds. Then fought Devin Brown Bear Clark and weighed in at 255, dude. So, yeah, I'm glad this is going to be back down at 205, but if I'm going to be honest, I'm going to wait until I see weigh-ins before I put any money on anything, dude. Marcin Prachnio lost his last fight to Felipe Lins via split decision. Knocked out Ike Villanueva via body kick round 1 and win a decision against Khalil Roundtree. Yeah, dude. So besides that, dude, near even fight, as stated by Tapology, plus 100 dog for Willie Knight, minus 125 favorite for Marcin Prachnio. Willie Knight, 34, same for Marcin Prachnio. Hopefully this will be at 205, 5'10 for Willie Knight, but I don't believe it. Probably like 5'8, 5'9, 6'3 for Marcin Prachnio, 73-inch reach for my guy, Willie Knight, and 74-inch reach for Marcin Prachnio. You know who I'm going here. I set it up for you, man. Are you going to pick Marcin Prachnio, or are you going to stay with me?
Nah, I'm going Marcin Prachnio. I just think that
I'm with you, Papa Chuck.
Man, I just think Willie Knight at light heavyweight, he's so stuck because he's much more talented, but he does kind of remind me of Deron Wynn to a certain extent, just being he's a very muscular guy, good wrestler, but just completely undersized in his weight class. Now, I think as far as, muscle mass wise, I mean, William Knight just looks like, there is not much more like fat that dude can lose. Like, he is just an absolute brick shit house. But I think at the end of the day, I just think that the size is just, height wise and his cardio really just ends up killing him at the end of the day. And I think that Prachnio gets a win here.
Yeah, what's the line for Andrade by sub, dude? Dude, we'll get there. We'll get there. So you are going Marcin Prachnio?
Yeah, going Marcin Prachnio.
All right, that's our third different one of the day. Dorian going against my guy, Willie Knight, dude. 0 chance. Willie Knight via knockout. That's how I'm going. Now that your pick is official, dude. Felipe Lins is. We just had this discussion, but you did pick him to beat OSP though too. But dude, getting knocked out by a slow Mike Rodriguez. I know it was 3 years ago at this point, and then lost to Magomed Ankalaev and finished by Magomed Ankalaev.
If you actually go back on Prachnio's like fights coming into the UFC, like I think he lost like his first 3 or 4 by KO in the UFC before he had gotten that win over Khalil Roundtree.
Yeah, dude.
So.
And if you can get chinned at all, I gotta go my guy, Willie Knight. I gotta see him make weight. That's my thing. I gotta see him make weight. Because dude, it's crazy.
I mean, look how big the fucker is, dude. Like there's no
picture.
Dude, I mean, he just can, he is so fucking huge. Like, you cannot do anything like as far as losing any more fat off his body, dude. He is a menace physically.
Yeah. Someone getting me to try to say some cool things on here, but not going to do it. I'm too smart for you, pal. Knight looks like he's a werewolf from Underworld. Yeah, I'm not sure what this guy's asking. Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on.
There he goes. He did it again. Got me out of there.
You know how it goes. Again, dude, 2 times in one stream, I back out of here on accident. What are the odds of that?
Let's go.
Again, dude. So moving on up to the next fight, we got none other than our feature fight of the night. Man, that's getting hot in here. Josh Parisian taking on Jamal Pokes, coming off the contender series, dude. And dude, I don't know why this is the feature fight of the night. What are we doing? Stormtrooper Jamal Pokes taking on Josh Parisian, 180 dog for Josh Parisian, the UFC vet at that. Jamal Pokes minus 225 favorite, the UFC newcomer, 33 versus 27. 265 versus 248, 6'4", 6'3", 79-inch reach for Josh Parisian, 77-inch reach for Jamal Pokes, dude. That being said, I got to go with the UFC vet. Also, he ain't that good, and I know I can acknowledge that, but coming off the contender series, Jamal Pokes didn't look amazing. He was just jabbing. That's all he did, was just jabbing. So that being said, I got to go with my not really my guy, the UFC vet in Josh Parisian there. Which way you going? I'm going. Wait, he's a dog too, yeah. Plus,
Yeah, I think he's minus 180.
Yeah,
or plus 180. I'm sorry.
I'm going.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember Jamal Pokes. Yeah, because his contender series fight, not really.
Dude, they were laughing at me, huh? They were laughing at me. Dude.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. I mean this little back out and backing in thing. I mean you're kind of it kind of throwing me out here a little bit. But dude, yeah, I don't know shit about Jamal Pokes. That's another Josh Parisian. It's kind of middle of the road.
Off a contender series.
Yeah, and I mean you can see Josh Parisian. Just look at his last 5 fights, and you'll see who he is. Win loss, win loss. So, let's go Pokes here.
All right, and our fourth different pick of the day, Jamal Pokes versus Josh Parisian. I'm going Josh Parisian. Dorian going Jamal Pokes. Dude, this card is so bad, dude. It's so bad.
Grade A garbage.
Dude,
I can't believe we spent this much time on it.
This is the worst scheduled card in a while. Like, this is scheduled. Like, the main fight fell out, but it's arguably a better fight than what was there before, dude. So in our co-main event, we got Zach Palga taking on the Beverly Hills Ninja, Jordan Wright, dude. Minus 300 favorite for Zach Palga. Makes sense. Plus 240 dog for the Beverly Hills Ninja. 34, 31, 70, 6'2" for, or they're both 6'2". Jordan Wright, a 1-inch reach advantage, dude. And Jordan Wright in his past 2 fights has came out to wrestle and immediately gassed, dude. If he has the same game plan, I believe Zach Palga trains with Curtis Blades, so that is not the best idea. If he does, he's going to get stuffed and then taken out as Jordan Wright does. Once he gets hit once, he's like, oh, no, I'm done. He gets hit one more time, and he goes to sleep. He is a glass cannon of glass cannons. If he wants to win, he needs to come out, throw spinning cool shit like he did when he used to win. Yeah, I have to go. I have to go Zach Palga here, probably via knockout at some point, first, second round. How about you?
Man, I don't know why. It's like there's something that like wants to make me believe in Jordan right here. I have no idea why. Maybe Zach Palga. I don't know. Maybe just because where he got clipped by Muhammad Usman in his last fight. I know that he was a more well-rounded fighter and was a heavy favorite coming out of that to win the whole thing, and he made it to the finals, which is not like he did terrible doing that, but he was looking good in the Usman fight until he got knocked out. But if you're that susceptible to getting caught with a shot, and that shot that Usman hit him with wasn't even that big of a shot either. It was a check hook. Mm-mm. But man, Jordan Wright's pretty explosive. Crazy part is, though, his only win in the UFC, I believe, is Jamie Pickett and to Ike Villanueva. So not a good track record for as far as his wins. But, man, let's go Jordan Wright here. Let's be different.
Oh man. Dorian. You're going the biggest underdog. I think you're about to make a mistake on that. I want to make sure that one is included on the weekly pick champs. Don't try to get out of that one. Don't try to get out of that one, man, because that one's for sure getting included. So moving on up. Main event, we are finally here at the toast of this shit sandwich. We had bread, soggy, turd-covered, soupy shit bread, and then we had turds themselves. And then now at the top of the card, we got a piece of toast. Jessica Bashastaka Andrade taking on cold-blooded Aaron Blanchfield. Jessica Andrade 24-9. Aaron Blanchfield 10-1. Her only loss was to Tracy Cortez via split decision, dude. 160 favorite for Jessica Andrade, plus 130 dog for Aaron Blanchfield. 31 versus 23. Jessica Andrade 5'1". Aaron Blanchfield 5'4". Jessica Andrade 62-inch reach. Aaron Blanchfield 68-inch reach. I've seen everyone split this week on this fight. Everyone says Aaron Blanchfield is going to take Jessica Andrade down like Valentina did, that Aaron Blanchfield has better wrestling than Valentina, which I don't know if I agree with too much. And I agree with you, Tom. But at the same time, man, it's like Aaron Blanchfield striking, it is getting better, dude. But at the same time, it's not great. By no means is Jessica Andrade anywhere close to the same skill level that Molly McCann is. I don't think Aaron Blanchfield is able to crucifix and elbow Andrade like Valentina did, but like she did to Molly McCann in her last fight. Dude, my only worry is how sore is Jessica Andrade still after just how long ago? After just 3 weeks ago, pretty much punching a meat steak for 15 minutes straight, dude. How sore are her hands, dude? 3 weeks later, going up to fight Aaron Blanchfield. I'm still taking Jessica Andrade. I believe she knuckles her up. She might even get her out of there, dude. Jessica Andrade is the way I'm going. She is only a minus 160 favorite. I believe she should be minus 230, if you ask me. I got Jessica Andrade. Hopefully finish. I'm going round 2 KO via body shots and then ground and pound. Jessica Andrade, the way I'm going. Which way you going, man?
Yeah, really torn on this fight too, because
Real quick, do we see the patented Jessica Andrade throwing all 4 limbs at once, like legs and arms running forward, dude? Somehow, dude, she's able to throw all limbs at one time and hit her opponent.
Yeah, she's like a Mortal Kombat character. That's like one of her special moves when she fires off. She's just like, what the? And just like fires off like all her hands and feet at the same time. But
Andrade subline, let's check that, brother.
And while you're checking that, yeah, I am torn. I could see Blanchfield coming in and doing a lot of wrestling. The only thing that you would say that would kind of make you worried if you're an Andrade fan would be that, as you said, she just fought 3 weeks ago, but she hasn't had a camp in the last 3 weeks, and Blanchfield has.
Odds are going the other way too, dude. Right now on DraftKings, because they sucker me back in with my free bet money. Jessica Andrade only a minus 135 favorite, dude. So it's going the other way. So kind of odd. Jessica Andrade via submission is plus 500 as well, dude. I don't know if she subs Aaron Blanchfield, but I didn't think she was going to sub Amanda Lemos either. And she choked her outstanding, dude. In my opinion, sub of the year. Charles Barkley saying, Blanchfield, unanimous decision.
Yeah, I got to think that. I mean, for me, I got to think that Andrade is going to be able to get the dub at the end of the day. I do think that she is the more well-rounded fighter, more explosive. I think as long as she can defend and take down, stay on her feet. You look at Aaron Blanchfield's record. She's 10-1. She's came in like a ball of fury, but had a loss to Tracy Cortez back in the day, back in LFA. So, and I know that was a few years ago, but a little weird loss there. So, and it looked like Aaron Blanchfield had a little bit of trouble taking down Tracy Cortez in that fight. So, yeah, I think Andrade should be able to get the dub here. Let's go Andrade.
All right, looks like we are both going Bachastaka, Jessica Andrade there. The pile driver, I believe that's loosely translated. All the girls who aren't champs eventually. Kinda. That's usually how it ends up going. We are both going Jessica Andrade, dude. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different picks this week, dude. One that I know we are keeping in there. Zach Palga versus Jordan Wright, dude. That's
well, then the other 6 you're keeping Lena Landsberg and
no.
and the other one in there. Then
two that we have to keep in here. All right, so I will keep Lena Landsberg versus Silva, and then we'll have Willie Knight versus Marcin Prachnio. So our 3 different fights that we will put Dorian's pick champ up on the line this week. Our 3 different pick. Where's your pick champ at, dude? You got to show this thing off because this is gonna be the last time that you have this shit for a while. Our 3 different fights this week going for Dorian's pick champ. I am going Zach Palga. Dorian is going Jordan Wright. Our second different fight we are going to pick on is I am going William Nightmare Knight. Dorian is going Marcin Prachnio. And our third and final different pick of the day, what we are going to open the fights with is going to be Lena Landsberg. I am going the elbow queen, Lena Landsberg. Dorian is going Myra Bueno Silva. We do have some other ones on there, so if one falls out, we can toss one in there. It is what it is. Yeah, but we appreciate every single one of y'all stopping by. Say what's up to everyone. What's up, Drew? Nice to see you here, brother. And still pick champ. So the Dorian took the time to comment on here and still. So he's trying to get the last one in here, trying to get all angles that he can to get that belt.
That's you trying to take the angles to get the belt. Nah, we're holding it down, baby.
Oh, wow. Did you see the tweet that 2 to 3 liters of IV are allowed? And it seems like Islam I didn't know that any of it was allowed. So once again, thank you, Papa Chuck. I appreciate you stopping by. You used to be one of our only viewers, dude, and we truly do appreciate it. So from me, from Dorian, every single one of y'all that does truly take the time to watch us, even if you are just stopping by for just a second, just to say what's up. We thank you. Truly appreciate it. But yeah, that's going to be about all from us here this time. If you are into UFC cards, I will be back with my I don't know if you saw the post I put up earlier on my post I put up earlier. My girlfriend got me this for Valentine's Day, UFC Immaculate. So that's pretty cool. But what do you know it if UPS doesn't, do what UPS does? And look at that. The metal is crushed on the side of this. But I believe my cards inside should be all right. So keep a lookout for that. I'll be filming that Sunday night. Be uploaded Monday. So I'm super excited for that. I'm nervous as all shit because it's an expensive box, but it is what it is. Once again, we appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in to the Golden Octagon MMA podcast. Once again, card video Monday. If you are into this type of shit, we'll be back here next week to talk to y'all. Get y'all's thoughts on the fights. Dorian's still showing off that damn belt. What do you guys say before we get out of here, man?
And still, baby, pick champ. Let's go.
All right. So once again, we appreciate every single one of y'all for joining in. As always, thank you very much. We are on that road to 1,000 subs, dude. We are just to think that, dude, I've been grinding away at this for a while, dude, and just happy it's finally paying off. But catch everyone later. Matt, Dorian on the other side of your screen. Golden Octagon MMA podcast, and we'll catch y'all next week. Catch you Monday for a card video. Peace out.
Peace.